If you listen to some of the richest people in the world, they all seem to follow a set of principles that have allowed them to achieve that massive level of financial success. As more people become millionaires, multimillionaires, and even billionaires, it becomes evident that these principles actually do work. So in today's episode of the Betterment Project, let's go over the 8 irrefutable rules of money taught by some of the most successful people in the world. Number 1. Success is not about money. Most people start a business with the sole purpose of making money. But according to Tom Bilyeu, co-founder of the billion-dollar Quest company, says it's not about the money. It might start that way, but if it is all about the money, you will have to hype yourself up in order to keep going. According to Bilyeu, in order to be successful at the highest levels, there has to be something that pulls you. See, many people choose to start a business because they see others making a lot of money doing it, but have no interest in actually doing it. So if a person gets into trading stocks, for example, just because other people are making money doing it, but they don't actually care about trading, he won't do as well as someone who lives and breathes stock trading. So before we think about creating wealth, let's think about what mission we want to achieve, even if it's not super clear to us right now. For example, for me personally, my mission started with a simple statement. I wanted to help people be happy. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew that would make me happy. Soon, I realized that I had a passion for making video. So I started making videos. That later became into a video production company where I would help my clients capture beautiful moments they wanted to remember, like weddings or anniversaries. Later, I found a passion for self-development and books. That, combined with my passion of creating content and my mission to help others create a better and happier life, created this channel. This helped me find my other passion, social media. As time went on, my mission became more clear, and so my ability to make money. Now, my mission is to help others use their passion to create content to build their own brands so they can create a life on their terms. My mission follows all of my passions while fulfilling my ultimate goal. And by having a clear mission, now I'm able to monetize myself much easier, and best of all, I enjoy what I do. But if you don't know what your mission is yet, that is totally okay. Here's a little exercise to help with that. First, think about something that you want to be remembered by, no matter how broad it is. For me, I wanted to help people live a happier life. That started really broad and not specific at all, but that is okay. Next, think about an activity or a passion that you have, something that you might be good at and genuinely enjoy doing. For me, it was to create video content. And that little area between what you want to be remembered for and the thing that you enjoy doing might be the starting point for you to find that thing that pulls you into success instead of you having to push yourself into it. Rule of money number 2. You don't have to build a business to be financially independent. See, there's a misconception that in order to be financially independent, we must start a business or a company, and that is the furthest from the truth. See, financial independence is nothing more than being able to cover your monthly expenses without having to go to work. That is it. If your monthly expenses are $3,000 a month, then all you would need is a passive income of around $5,000 a month to pay your bills, cover your taxes, and still have money left over to enjoy. The secret is you don't need to build a business to be financially independent. See, by being financially literate, anyone, whether they work on a job, are self-employed, or run companies, can create wealth and passive income. For example, if John here works on a job and makes $65,000 a year and is able to save 30 of them, he might be able to buy a real estate property every year to 2 years. If he's able to buy a property every year and rent it out to tenants, giving him an average of $600 a month in cash flow, he would be able to become financially independent in around 5 years, all without having to build and run a business. After he is financially independent, then he can build a business if he were to want to, but now he's able to avoid the personal risk of starting a business. If the business doesn't make any money for a few years, or even if it fails, it's all good, because he is already financially independent due to his investments. But I know what some of you guys might be thinking. Yo, Mr. Betterment Projects, I barely make enough money to pay the bills. I don't have enough to save and invest. Which leads me to the next point. Number 3. Most people have the ability to make a side income, but the majority never use it. See, if you stop and look around, the world is filled with opportunities to make extra money, especially today. That little device that you're probably holding right now is a great tool that we can use to make some side income, and just about anyone can use it. For example, this is a great story. Earlier this year, my girlfriend's sister went online and bought a little bunk bed for herself for $60. But this little bunk bed didn't really fit her mattress, so that day she took her phone, took a picture of the bed, and sold it on Facebook for $85. And just like that, she made $25, and she was 11 years old. If an 11-year-old can make money with her phone, so can anyone. The problem is that not many people take advantage of this opportunity. Now, that is just one example. There are countless ways to make side income that we can use to save and invest, especially if you have a little skill that could help someone. If you have a good camera and know how to take pretty good pictures, you can go and charge people or businesses to take their pictures. If you know how to use social media well, which most of you probably do, you can help businesses manage their social media accounts. If you know how to make videos, you can create content for businesses' social media. If you have a spare room in your house, it could be a source of extra income by renting it on Airbnb. The opportunities are out there. The question is, will you take advantage of them? And this is one of the reasons why I am excited to have Skillshare as the sponsor of this video. If you don't know what Skillshare is, well, it's a learning platform that we can use to build monetizable skills. Skillshare has over 25,000 courses ranging from graphic design, business, marketing, investing, and even filmmaking, animating, and photography for those of us who are more creative. With over 25,000 courses, chances are Skillshare can help you develop your skills that match both your mission and your passion. Remember my video production company I mentioned earlier? I use videos like the ones you find in Skillshare to learn how to shoot and edit videos, and soon after, clients began paying me hundreds and even thousands of dollars for a single video. And that was the stepping stone for us being here today. Now, since it's the holiday season, I want to give you guys a gift. When you click on the link in the description of this video, you will have 2 whole months of Skillshare Premium waiting for you absolutely free. So now you can build your skills free of charge. And let's get back to the content. Number 4, sales is the fastest way to move money. Think about this. Most people go to a job getting paid $15 to $20 an hour for 40 hours a week, which makes them around $600 to $800 per week. Now think about this. If you were selling a product for $200, it would only take you 4 sales to make $800. And this could be done in well under 40 hours. And now with the internet, a business can make multiple sales simultaneously. And this is at a small scale. There are people making hundreds of thousands or even millions in a single deal. Now think about everything that you own right now, from the shoes that you're wearing to the phone you're watching this with. Chances are someone sold that to you. You gave money to have this product. If a phone cost $1,000 and we're making $15 an hour, this means that we would have to work around 66 hours to pay for this phone. And probably even more because most of the stuff we buy is after paying the government taxes. Sales is everywhere, and it is the fastest way money exchanges hands. The one who sells is the one who takes the money, which also leads me to the next point. Number 5, attention is currency. You can be the best salesman in the world, but if nobody knows you or knows what you sell, no one will buy. Bringing attention to yourself and your product is essential to creating income with a business. A great example of this is multi-billionaire entrepreneur Richard Branson. If you take a look at his career as an entrepreneur, he always pulled stunts around his new businesses. For example, for his company Virgin Brides, which was one of the first wedding dress shops in London, Branson dressed up as a bride with a full face of makeup to promote his company. He also drove a tank through the streets of New York City to promote his Virgin Cola company, or even showing up to a press conference in a spacesuit to promote Virgin Galactic. By creating these out-of-the-ordinary stunts, he was able to attract massive attention to his businesses. So when it comes to making money, attention is currency. If you think about it, the technology that makes the most money isn't necessarily the best, but the one who has the most attention. Back when the fidget spinner was viral, it made its sellers a lot of money, and when everyone forgot about it, it stopped making money. The most popular celebrities or influencers have a higher earning potential than someone who isn't as popular. And that is the difference between sales and marketing. Sales is the ability to create a monetary transaction, the ability to get the yes, here's my credit card. Marketing, on the other hand, is creating awareness and interest in the product you're selling. Think of the company Apple. They don't have to hard sell their products because their marketing creates high levels of awareness and interest in the product before it even comes out. By having great marketing, their sales process happens very easily. Rule of money number 6 is not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. See, one of the things that many people don't talk about is one of the biggest realities of making money: taxes. For many people, taxes are the single largest expense that a person has, yet never study. Understanding even the basics of how we are taxed and how to keep more of what we earned can be an essential part of our finances, especially as business owners and entrepreneurs or even investors. There are a few things that investors and entrepreneurs can do to keep more of the money they made. Now, of course, this is a big topic, so I made a whole video talking about the strategies people use to pay less in taxes. You can check it out here in the right-hand corner or at the end of this video. Number 7. Compounding interest might take time, but builds long-term wealth. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and the richest man in the world, once asked Warren Buffett, who is known as one of the biggest investors in the world, "Why don't more people copy your simple investing strategies?" And Buffett's response was, "Because no one wants to get rich slow." If you take a look at Buffett's net worth throughout the years, you'll notice that most of his wealth was made after he was 60 years old. By the age of 30, he was worth $1 million. 14 years later, at the age of 44, he was worth $19 million, not even close to the billion. By the age of 52, only 8 years later, he was worth over $370 million. And only 6 years later, by the age of 58, he was worth over $2 billion and $17 billion by the age of 66. Buffett is now 89 years old, and he has an estimated net worth of $87 billion. As you can see, it took Buffett about 25 years to go from 1 million to 1 billion, and 10 years to go from 1 billion to 17 billion, and another 6 to make another $19 billion more. Compounding interest might feel slow in the short term, but the biggest weapon of compounding interest is time. A really good illustration of how powerful time is with compounded interest is the popular question, what would you choose? $1 million right now, or 1 cent that doubles every day for 30 days? Many might choose the $1 million right now without knowing that 1 cent that doubles every day ends up being over $5 million at the end of the 30 days. The funny thing is that you don't see much of a difference until the last 10 days. At day 15 of doubling your cent, you only have $163, not even close to the $5 million. By day 20, you have over $5,000. By day 25, you have over $167,000. By day 27, only 2 days after, you've got over $600,000. Not even the million on day 27. By the next day, you have over 1.3 million, and by day 30, you have over $5.3 million. That is the long-term power of compounding interest. Now, how does that affect your finances? Well, for example, let's say that you're able to save and invest $400 a month and you invested in a simple index fund like the S&P 500. Historically, the S&P 500 has an annual return of 8% per year. And let's say that you start at 20 years old. By the time you're 60, you would have invested over $192,000. But the compounding interest of those $192,000 will give you over $1.2 million. As you can see, the compounding interest can be a powerful tool to create long-term wealth. Number 8. The real game is wealth, not just money. See, there's a big difference between money and wealth. Someone who wins $1 million in the lottery might have money, but doesn't have wealth. Think about this. What would you rather have? $1 million in cash or $1 million worth of cash flow properties? Buffett, which is one of the biggest investors in the world, chooses the latter.
Anytime we have surplus cash around, I'm unhappy. I would much rather have good businesses than cash.
See, money as we know it depreciates in value every year, and it can be easily spent. If we have $1 million in cash, we can simply buy a nice house, a couple nice sports cars, and the money's gone. Wealth, on the other hand, creates more money. It provides the owner with cash flow that could either be reinvested back to create more money or used by the owner to live off of. This way, the investor has true wealth because it's not about how much money they have, it's about how much money their money makes. And if you haven't gotten my holiday gift, make sure to click on the link in the description of this video to get 2 months of Skillshare Premium absolutely free. And I will see you in the next video.